Hey friends, it's Willie here. Welcome to my month's lesson. I thought this month I want to talk about a topic which we don't nearly talk about it here enough in our society, perhaps because we fear it. Some of us even consider it as our greatest enemy of all, and we do anything not to talk about it, as if it's a morbid topic, right? But since the pandemic has started, I find it's never been more important and relevant than ever to talk about it. So let's talk about it. What I'm talking about here is the topic of death. Specifically, how to make death our most powerful friend of all and why it's important to do so. Before I go further, I like to borrow a quote from a famous movie which we've probably all seen by now, the movie Troy, where Achilles talked about how the gods envy us because we are mortals. Because every moment could be our last. Everything is more beautiful because we are doomed. I find the answer on why and how making death our most powerful friend lies on this quote. And let me explain that. So what I'm effectively trying to help you understand by the end of this video is 1, help you understand the benefits of befriending death, and 2, share you a couple of stories of my own personal journey of confronting death and how I came to peace with it. So let's talk about firstly sharing a little bit about me, because most of you probably don't know who I am and who the hell is this guy, right? So first thing first, I'm someone who's been working in the corporate world for the last 12 years, pretty much straight out of university. I worked in various different companies, where 5.5 years of that I worked in the same company, one of the largest company in Australia, here in Sydney. And 6 months ago, I saw a chance and I took it to pursue a promotion as a manager for a competitor, where I was successful in acquiring the role. But life's a little bit funny like that. Soon after I acquired the role, I realized it wasn't the job that was advertised. And despite, the committed person that I am, 6 months, into it, throughout the probation, despite trying my best, despite giving it my all, it was proven to be too difficult for me to pursue, given that I have no prior experience in this particular field. And guess what? I was let go from that company 6 months at the end of the probation. So on this very last day, which the news was delivered to me quite all of a sudden, I've told some of my close colleagues and of the news, and they put this last minute but heartwarming, touching virtual farewell, because in Sydney here, we're still in lockdown and we can't see each other physically. And this virtual farewell highlighted all my achievements that I've done in the last 6 months, which was absolutely so touching. I can't help but feeling emotional about it. And at that point, it made me realize something. It made me realize, despite the outcome, while unfortunate it may seem, I made an impact to people around me. So even then, after this unfortunate turn of event, it finally gave me the time and space that I never had to pursue a passion which I've always had, which is cooking. And shortly after that, I created my own venture as a home cooking chef. So why am I talking about this story about me losing my job when I'm supposed to be talking about death, right? So to explain that, let me share another story. 10 years ago, I was involved in a life-threatening accident where I nearly lost my life, and I also lost a dear friend who I consider to this day as a mentor. And in this particular moment where I confronted what I thought was my mortality, I experienced what a lot of people would say as my life flashing before my eyes. And this moment, I like to sum it up with one word, and that word is regret. Regret of many things in life. Firstly, regret that I didn't confess my love to a crush that I had at the time. Regret that I wasn't a better friend to all my friends, especially the one that I eventually lost. And also regret that I didn't live my life the way I wanted, that really brings me my own happiness rather than simply pleasing others. So this event at this moment, at this point in time, which after years of reflection, made me realize the greatest lesson of all is it is not about the failure, but the regrets which haunts us at the end of the day. Let me just repeat that again. It is not the failures, but regrets which haunts us at the end of the day. So, applying this lesson 10 years later, after encountering this life-changing event of losing my job, something that I thought I wanted all my life, to be a manager in a large corporation, here I am speaking about it so confidently, so peacefully, so contently, putting myself into this vulnerable position, and guess what? I'm totally fine. Why is that? Because of 3 reasons that I've learned from that moment 10 years ago. 1, take a chance and do my best to the best of my ability despite all outcomes. 2, be good to all, regardless of the circumstances, especially the unfortunate one. And 3, remember to be my authentic self rather than just simply pleasing others, especially my boss, just to save my job. So to sum it up, live every moment with no regrets despite the outcomes. So, why make death our most powerful friend? Because let's go back to that quote from Troy. Life is more beautiful because we are doomed. Because it creates us a sense of urgency to pursue our own happiness, whatever that may be. Letting go of all those things that do not serve us. Be good to all, because it could be our last chance that we can be good to all. So people consider death as the end of all things, so that we fear it. We don't really talk about it. What if we just shift that mindset from fearing it to embracing it? It's gonna happen anyway, right? Guess what? Reality. It's going to happen. So why not make it our most powerful ally instead of our greatest enemy? How to make death our most powerful ally of all? It starts with some simple questions, like, if you were to die right here, right now, would you regret anything? Is there anything in life which causes you unhappiness? Understand why that is. And then once you understand the why those things make you unhappy, start setting actions to uncover and undo all those things. Maybe it could be in form of an apology that you need to make that's overdue. It could be developing new habits which you find your current habit perhaps is toxic. Perhaps it could be pursuing those things which really scares you the most but really brings you joy. And remember, it's not about the failures, but the regrets, which are our greatest enemy of all at the end of the day. So with that, I'd like to offer my own personal service if you guys think this message resonates with you. If you're ready to confront your demons, shoot me a DM, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help where I can. So like of all my videos here about the monthly lesson, I like to provide a couple of thanks. Firstly, thank you to my colleagues who made me realize the impact that I made on others despite any sort of circumstances. Putting together such heartwarming farewell, highlighting my achievements and supported me all the way to the end. I really feel so blessed and thank you so much for doing so. Secondly is to my dear friend Kat, who reminded me the greatest lesson of all when it comes to death is regret rather than failures. And with no regrets, literally we have nothing to fear of. And lastly, to all my friends and family who's supported me throughout this difficult, challenging time, it really made a difference and really made me and remind me to believe in myself. And guess what? I'm in a better place than ever. Thanks so much guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe and I hope to catch you guys all soon. See you later.